Bonjour everyone, it is Friday. It is Friday. I'll tell you something really funny. I thought I was going home today, but you know, in my business, I am every woman, or every person, or every man, whatever, you know, in my business, and I am like my own secretary. I organize everything, I do my taxes, I do all this stuff like that, you know. Well, I have an accountant, so I don't really, I do my taxes all the way up into where I just can't do it anymore, and I'm an accountant. Anyway, I just want to share that with you. I am hyper today because the interesting thing about realizing something that, you know, you thought, I assumed that I had to go home on Friday. And you know, I am not my thoughts. Like, I'm not my thoughts that fly around in my head. What is interesting is that as you project, when you realize that you're not your thoughts and your thoughts are just rambling on and like labeling things that are in your experience, and they project into the future, when I realized for a second, for like a hot minute, there's a difference between a second and a hot minute, but they're the same thing. Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It is Friday and I'm going home. But let me tell you, when I realized that I had made that mistake yesterday, that I was not going home today, but I'm going home tomorrow, my mind started coming up with all kinds of not excuses, but like some kind of like all this little things, like, oh my God, what did you do? Like, now you're gonna have to tell Hank, my boyfriend, that I'm not coming home, and that I've made it, and I could have double checked, I could have done this, and you know, I should have like checked this twice, or like I didn't mean to assume. And that's another thing about assumptions. I assumed that I was, because somewhere in my mind I was going home on a Friday. But this is very interesting, because as it arose, as quickly I like stood back, and as quickly as my mind came up with this almost like victimhood of like, oh my God, how could you make that mistake? How could you do that? How could you do this? And this is what the head does all the fucking time, you know what I mean? It likes to label, it likes to like project into the future and say like, project into the, is this project into the future? Yeah, it projects into the future. Yeah, am I being confusing? Probably I am. The mind likes to project into the future, and it also likes to label like a mistake or an apparent mistake. Now, this could be seen as a mistake. You know what I mean? And that I could quickly become a victim of my own head and saying, you know, that how could you make this mistake? You know, how could this happen? But as soon as that play started to happen, I realized I didn't really like on purpose make this mistake. So that's like with everything. Like, I never intentionally make a mistake, but I could make mistakes. And are they mistakes? But you know, like, unless I give it value, like if I give it value with all of the play that plays like with these thoughts that are associated to the forgetting or something, or the mistake of like, you know, misscheduling or something. Nothing is misscheduled. I just realized that my car had been arranged for me by the company I'm working for here on the 15th, which is not today, it's tomorrow, Saturday. And I realized, I was like, oh, Saturday's the 15th and Friday's the 14th, which is today. And I thought I was going home tomorrow, which is the 14th, and that was when I was paying my bill down here at the hotel. I'm saying this because it was a beautiful opportunity again for me to just step back and look at this. Now, I don't have anything to do when I get home. I don't have any like, I have the free weekend, except that I missed not being with my boyfriend today, which is fine, because it is what it is, and like of course, I'd love to be home right now, you know, hanging out on my couch and just, you know, kind of recharging my batteries for the weekend before I start to work on Monday. So I don't have to start to work on Monday. But anyway, to make a long story short, I have an extra day in Lisbon, which isn't a bad thing, really, is it? Although, you know, like, I am I'm an introvert, so I like to be alone. So that is an opportunity for me to be alone. Not that I want to be with my boyfriend, but when it happens, and I saw an opportunity for me to be alone. And I like that. Today I was also invited to have dinner with some friends, which I've had dinner with them last week as well. And I agreed and I said yes. And then I realized, oh, I don't want to. Actually, I want to be alone. But anyway, what I'm just trying to say is that, you know, as the mind, when you work with this mind and these kind of random thoughts that come associated to some kind of event, projected to the future, and for you to have to solve something that, you know, the conversations that I'll have with my boyfriend, or, you know, like, or like, you're stupid, how could you make this mistake, and all this, and then, you know, also like with the situation being invited to dinner when I know I want to be alone, and I was expecting to go home today, but then I realized I really want to be alone. And I love my job, I love people, I love to be around people, but not all the time. Because I like to be with my company, I like to just, you know, read, or, you know, watch Netflix, or you know, or put on makeup and play with my craft. Really like that, and have fun with myself. I really like to have fun with myself, and that's really, really a beautiful thing. So I saw it as an opportunity, like, okay, I'm gonna be alone. But what I'm trying to say is that when you start to observe yourself, you know, because yeah, I'm always observing myself, and I'm observing my reactions, my response to my reaction of my head, you know, kind of thing. And it's such a loving experience because you have an opportunity, or I have an opportunity, to relate to the thought that comes up because of something that has happened, or something that has not happened, because your mind will come up with some kind of solution of something that has not happened when you expect it's going to be happening. You know what I mean? We are not our thoughts. That is so very clear for me. And we are not our thoughts. So what are we really? We are pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is the awareness of awareness of awareness of awareness, and it can go far, 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 far. Now, before I put myself into a victimhood, or thinking I should have done this or should have done that, I'd be shooting all of myself. Don't you like that expression of shooting all of yourself? Because I love that. You know what I'm saying? You know, shooting all of yourself. I have literally asked my boyfriend to tell me that when I use should in a conversation, because I'm so over the shoulds, and ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, jazz mellow lounge ballads. I am pure happiness right now, even though I apparently, you know, made a mistake or something. My mind can say that, but I can tell you, like, as I watch the play of it all pop up and down in my head, it's really, really interesting. My boyfriend is so, like, he goes with the flow with me, and so it's no big deal for him that I'm not home. Of course, he would love for me to be at home, but it happened. Things happen, and things are the way they are. And I share it with you because it is really interesting to just so be aware and then watch how everything comes. And when you do this, it's so exhausting. It can be so exhausting because then you're paying attention, and then you're really realizing all this stuff like that. And so it can be a very, very exhausting thing, but it's so rewarding, and so rewarding, I mean, because you allow what is, and that's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful experience, and it passed. And obviously I find myself in a very, very joyful situation. And it happened yesterday. Now, another very interesting thing is that my mind comes up with some kind of thing about the hotel, because yesterday I was paying my bill downstairs here, and talking to them about or I was talking to them about my partner had been here, but there was a mistake because he stayed only 4 days, and they had charged him they were going to charge me for 7 days or something, which was a mistake. It was something that happened by them, which didn't bother me at all, but I wasn't going to pay that much money. But anyway, because of all of that, I was thinking that I had checked myself out of the hotel when, in fact, the company I worked for had booked the night. But I'm telling you this because my head, after that, when I came up and I realized that I was actually leaving on Saturday and not on Friday, started having a conversation with the thoughts in my head, and the thoughts had a conversation with the thoughts. And I was just watching it going like, first of all, I'm not a victim. Second of all, I really didn't make a mistake unless I say I made a mistake, and I'm not a victim to that circumstance. And but for a while, and even today when I came back, just to make sure that they were not going to, like, they had not cleaned my room, so which was odd. They normally clean my room before I get home. They still haven't cleaned my room because I put the just not disturb sign on the door right now because I want to be alone and I want to, like, have fun with myself and just be in the moment and do whatever I want to do and go with the flow and whatever comes up. But my mind was thinking, okay, they haven't cleaned my room today because of the apparent mistake I think I made yesterday. But then I called them yesterday also too. Are you staying with me? If you're not, you'll get the gist of the story. And I made sure that they did not, that I was actually checking out on the 15th of September and not on the 14th. Oh, I hear some knocking, but it's not my room. See? That's the silly thing about the funny head. The head, you know, the head is the same kind of thoughts that bubble up in your electrons and neurons and everything's fire and comes up with some kind of thought that is not even reality. Like, what else is not reality? Everything, you know, like, it sounds insane because it is insane. It is insanity. Oh my God, I'm already 11 minutes and I am hyper as a motherfucking jumping bean. But the gist of the story is that never ever listen to your thoughts because you are not your thoughts. You are the present moment without any labels, and you are the blue sky behind the clouds, which are the thoughts that come and pass and all that kind of thing. I'm in a really, really good mood, and I just want to share with you that, and I want to share with you, never ever listen to your thoughts to say anything, positive or negative, and not listen, and just be the loving person that you are, and just go on, and don't worry what people think, or what people are thinking about you, or your work, or anything like that. You know that you've done your best, and whatever your best is, because I think we do our best every single moment we can, even if we're laying on the couch and all of that. And you will make a move when you're inspired to make a move to do whatever you want to do, and it's all with love and acceptance and unconditional love. Now, you're gonna have moods. We have moods and challenges, and all these kind of things come with life and life flow. Challenges are to be had, and emotions rise and fall. And just in that moment, being in the present, you can relate to them how you want to relate to them. And any extra stress that you place on yourself because of a situation that you cannot control, I think it's just interesting to recognize that, so you can actually make an implied decision again to be the better version of yourself. So I want you to have a really beautiful weekend, and thank you so much for coming and watching me. And yeah, keep on keeping on, you know what I mean? Because everything's gonna pass, and there's gonna be another video, and there's gonna be another conversation, and there's gonna be another preference, another challenge, and another this, another that, and another, and life is just passing on. And when I lighten up, I just feel my pure joy, my birthright of joy, and I'm here, and I feel good, and I could talk forever, and because I love to share. Big kiss to you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.